Hey yo, this is your girl Melanin Audacity, and thank you for tuning in to the Master Elements podcast.
Smash the elements. 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 Smash the elements.
So we covered the. Did we do the Kanye rally? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
first. And your Donald Trump interview. So okay, send. I don't know where you want to start. I know you sent me some emails. Not sure where you want to start with either the Nick Cannon, John Lewis, or the reparations pump fake.
Man, let's talk about my dude Nick Cannon, man. Let's talk about my dude Nick Cannon.
Yeah, let's talk about
Ah, Nick Cannon.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? I'm still riding with my guy, man. You know?
What? You riding with him?
I'm still riding with my guy, man. I'm still riding with my guy.
I
A lot of
thought the
people.
apology was well written. I thought the apology was well written.
Forget Nick.
And because me personally, I don't have knowledge outside of what Sincere have shared in last week's episode with regard to anti-Semitic in the research that I did in preparation, and who the original man is and how anti-Semitic came to be. However, I think there should be a sit down between some top Jews and some top African American scholars who have their receipts. The Jews bring their receipts, and then they can go point for point and either agree to disagree, but at least they can talk it out for understanding.
They don't
So
want to do that.
I,
um,
I, I,
They
res- I
don't want no
respect.
smoke.
See, you said I respect that. Like that's one of my issues with him is that he threw that OG under the bus, Professor Griff. My gripe with him is
How he threw
I
Griff
didn't
under
think
the
that.
bus?
I didn't think
first of
so.
all, first of all, like if you gonna get counsel and you gonna bring that man on your show and you understand what they took that man through, you understand what I'm saying? And you make the comments that you make, and then you got to deal with the backlash because anybody that knew what Professor Griff went through would understand that bringing him on their platform, you got to be strong to deal with the backlash. Just first of all, by having him on your platform, you understand that they don't like that. They didn't like that at all. So after Nick made the comments that he made about them, then to turn around and then apologize. First, he didn't apologize. He said, "Look, I'm a boss. I'm standing on my square. I'm repping for my people, right?" Then all of us is like, "Oh, yo, respect, respect, yo." He's standing firm. He knew they was coming. You feel me? Then the next thing you know, and not too long after that, he's like, he talking about, "I'm sorry, this and that." Then he got a picture with him sitting with a rabbi. Then he don't even call the guy Professor Griff. He's like Richard Griffin. Peace to Richard
Okay.
Griffin. I'm like, yo, what is that? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna throw the guy under the bus like that? That's weak.
You throw the God under the bus because you said his name?
Nah, the way he handled this thing, like you gonna bring a rabbi on now all of a sudden?
Yes. All right, listen, man. What
That's
first of all, what Sin just said? She want to see a sit down from both communities. She want to see
right.
a showdown from both communities. There's a lot of people out there that don't really understand all this history.
That's
There's a
right.
lot of people out there that don't got knowledge of self. So why not bring them to the table? Let's talk. We intellectuals.
Yeah, we
Let's
can
chop it
read.
up.
We can
But
read.
he's not doing that. Now if he said, look, I wanna bring Professor Griff to the table with
Listen,
the
I
rabbi
understand. I
and let
understand.
him
I
hash it
understand.
out.
I understand. But listen though, you got to be able to play chess, man. You don't think Nick understood that this backlash was coming before it came? You don't think he understood that before he
No,
said what he said
no.
when he like you just explained. He
All right,
already
yo.
know the history of Professor Griff. He already know what happened with Professor Griff. He already knows that nobody else is bringing Griff on their platform to have these discussions.
Right.
Right.
So that tells you right there that he understood the backlash that was coming.
So why
So
you
that
trying to kill
tells
himself?
so sometimes when you throw your queen out there,
Yeah.
just to force your opponent to make their move, and then you pull your queen back. Sometimes you got to retreat in order to win. It's art of war. These people have the power. These people have the control. This man is doing multi-million-dollar deals. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just throw it on away because you made a couple of comments. It's
All
okay
right.
to play chess.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
It's
Exactly.
okay
So
to play chess.
all
He
right.
ain't out
So
here cooning. He ain't throw nobody under the bus.
all right. So let's say boom. He didn't do that. All right. So boom. Now you turn around again after you apologize to them. You write a letter talking about you was gonna kill yourself.
Listen,
Where we at with that? Where we at?
we've witnessed this time and time again. Look what just happened with Tamar. Look what just happened with Tamar Braxton. She just tried to commit suicide as well, correct?
Right, but
Did,
she ain't standing
did,
for nothing. She ain't talking
but
about
did
no
you
black
see?
lives.
But did you see the post that she put out prior to talking about being a
She don't.
slave, talking about
Right.
being a slave and not being free and wanting to be free and all that, and how that was bringing her to that dark place. So
You
it's
Mm.
know
the
why?
same thing. They do this shit to our people in that Hollywood system, man. Look at Kanye West.
All right. Hold on. Now back to Tamar, because I'm gonna match you on that. I used to watch the show, the Braxton show. Now, what I'm tying that into is with her ex-husband Vince, who used to be the manager for Lady Gaga. Now the
I
whole thing is,
understand.
if you watch the preview of the new show, her new man, the guy who they said is abusing her, told her, "I don't want Vince around in my house. At my house." What's going on is that Vince basically has her under contract. So even though she went with this other dude and did her thing, anything that comes to do with that show, anything that comes with that brand, Vince has a stake in it. And basically,
Who really owns the shit though, man? It ain't Vince.
well,
We
he's
see this
the
over and
executive.
over
He got
again.
a stake. He got a huge
Who
stake
really
in it.
owns this shit, man? Who's really
He got
calling
a
these
stake.
shots?
Well, we know who's really calling the shots. But what
All
she
right
said,
then.
she wants out from the contract. She wants out from Vince. She don't want to do no more business with him. And
Okay.
he's got the contract. He got her locked down. And
You
the new
think that's
guy,
Vince that got her locked down?
yeah, he got her under contracts, multiple contracts, management
Listen,
contracts, he got
maybe
executive
so.
contracts. Huh?
Listen, maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe that is the case. I don't know all her business dealings and all that stuff. All I'm saying is the language that she was using, talking about being a slave and wanting her freedom and all that, that sounds like you addressing white supremacy in my book. You know what I'm saying? And we know who
Mm-hmm.
controls the systems. All the systems.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same people that's attacking Nick. It's the same people. The same
Nick
people
set up.
that Dave Chappelle went through what he went through with.
All right. So
It's
like
the same folks.
Nick set up under the minister. He was there when the minister
Mm-hmm.
gave the word. When the minister gave the word at the garden, he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Now my thing is okay. Boom. So if okay,
And he didn't throw the minister under the bus. He ain't say nothing. You know what I mean? Like all these
no,
other
no, no.
people, that's the first thing they make them do. When
Right,
they issue their apology, you gotta throw Farrakhan under the bus. You
right,
Yeah.
gotta say Farrakhan is an anti-Semite and you don't stand for that. He didn't do that.
right. He didn't do that. I respect that move, but he didn't stand. And my thing is, okay, Farrakhan called them out. He said, look, Farrakhan been calling them out for a debate for years now, and they don't want no
Yes,
smoke. You don't want that smoke.
at all.
So my thing is with him, I'm not bringing no rabbi on my show without having a representative of my people stand with their receipts. Period.
I mean,
That's true.
I
I
mean,
think
there's
he
gonna be a
should have
time and a
done that.
place for that. There's gonna be a time and a place for that.
Yeah, I think that should happen. I think it has to happen because,
It's a
um,
process.
and I'm looking at his apology. He says, while the Jewish experience encompasses more than 5,000 years, and there is so
Mhm.
much I have yet to learn. So I'm not sure that they didn't come with some kind of receipts that made him change his mind a bit or brainwashed him to another understanding. So
I
I
something
believe
just
had
so.
to.
believe.
I believe so
I just think he playing chess, man.
because
Cause
I
he already
watched.
did this. He already did the history. You know what I mean? That's why he's talking how he's talking. He already did. He already put in his 10,000 hours. But you're like, all
Now,
right.
To me, you know what it's going to boil down to is who authored the books, which will contain the receipts on either side. Who can validate anybody's side?
But listen,
but
Minister Farrakhan has a 3-volume series called The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. All 3 of the books are nothing but quotes from Jewish scholars.
right.
So it's not, you can talk about who the author is. Okay, Minister Farrakhan is the author of the book, but he's quoting nothing but Jewish scholars all throughout the books.
And
He's using their words.
right. They're telling
So
He's going by what they
white
say.
European people who practice Judaism and refer to themselves as Jews wrote books that support Nick Cannon's understanding that the black man is also
Absolutely.
okay. And
Absolutely.
so that's what we need. They're gonna have to do
They
it.
got the receipt. They got the receipts, but they don't want to. Farrakhan has called them out to debate many years now, and they never want to face him. That's why I felt the way when I saw Nick had that rabbi sitting there with him, because I'm like, yo, I'm not really feeling that, yo. Like, you already know what it is. It's like, and then when I watched Peace the Black Dot, because I just watched his episode, his podcast with him and his son, and he says on that show that the rabbis, they came to Nick Cannon with some sort of documentation or paperwork against Farrakhan. So basically, they gave him this whole list of background information
That's
that
what
they
I
had
feel.
on
That's
Farrakhan.
what I feel.
So when Black Dot,
If they had something on Farrakhan, then they would do something to Farrakhan.
Not on Farrakhan, maybe something to the
trying to
contrary
brainwash, like,
to what he's been taught.
right. So they
Yeah.
basically brought that information in their canon. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they like that. And I was like, see, that's some weak stuff. You know what I mean? And Black
Listen,
Dot was
man. Everybody can't be
Well,
everybody can't be a Minister Farrakhan. You understand?
yes.
Like Nick Cannon is a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? He came up in the Hollywood system. Minister Farrakhan is a free black man. You know what I'm saying? He's been able to walk on this planet and live as a king because he built a kingdom around himself, independent of the white supremacists. So
Right.
they
Right.
can't cut his, they can't turn his switch off. He can say what he
Right.
want to say and don't have to worry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? He always going
Right.
to live how he lived. But unfortunately, for the rest of us, for most of us, that's not the case.
Right.
Mhm.
The case.
Mhm.
So we can't expect everybody to be Minister Farrakhan. You know what I mean? I respect Nick, man.
Right.
Keep
Well,
watching.
my thing,
Keep watching.
my,
It ain't over.
my, I know. Well, my thing is, if you're gonna bring the rabbi, then bring Rizza Islam up there and sit with the rabbi.
So are you upset with Nick because of the apology, RP?
Yeah, it was weak. It was weak to
Okay.
me.
Okay.
My thing is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand what Sincere is saying, but my thing is, you know, it could be chess. So we're gonna watch. But as far as what I can see so far, when he came with the suicide, I was like, come on, man, what? Like,
I
bro,
think
you know what I'm
he
saying?
also mentioned that his people turned against him, and I'm sure that crushed his spirit a lot.
You're getting it from all sides. You're getting it from all sides.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All sides
So-
coming down on you.
But again, it goes back to us when we get money.
Mm-hmm.
We're afraid to end up where we came from. That's me putting it in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
Because what else can happen? What else is they can take your job?
A lot more can happen. Look at Bill Cosby.
They'll take your job, but they can't put him in jail for that. I mean, just standing up on his own too in this instance.
They can find something to
talking
put you in
about-
jail for. What I'm saying is they can find something to put you in jail for. They do this all the time. Look what they did to OJ. They made up a law
Okay,
to
so
put
then
him
which
in
is
jail.
it? Should you bow down to them or stand up for yours? Because either way, they can
I'm saying
do
you
it.
got to be strategic. I'm saying you have to be strategic. You gotta understand the art of war. When somebody has an advantage
So
over you.
the black people that are kicking his back and they're being strategic.
Oh no.
They could just, and that's what I mean. They
I
could just not
understand.
say no.
Don't get me wrong. I understand where some of the sentiments are coming from. Where people feeling like he shouldn't apologize. I understand where some of that is coming from. But at the same time, it's like, come on, most of Most of y'all can't go to your job and talk like that.
But let's
You
back
can't even
up a
talk.
little
You
bit.
can't. You can't go to your job talking all that black power shit. Your ass to get fired too.
That's right.
But he created that platform that way. That's the thing. He created that Kenny class.
And he had the bravery to do it. He had the bravery to do so. So respect to
Right,
him for that.
right. So he
Respect
got
to
to
him for
know.
that.
He got to know it was coming.
He probably just needs to come back and reiterate or say, okay, I was a little harsh, because I think the only issue is that he
He didn't
said
say anything wrong. He didn't say anything wrong.
he said they were savages, so he did call them names. And
Hold
he said,
on. Let's clear that up. Because that's another thing about this whole thing. When the Jews, remember, the Jews are not supposed to be white. When he said that they were savages and that they were living in caves and all that stuff, to talk about the nature, he was talking about the nature of white people, Caucasian people. So the Jews are not supposed to be Caucasian. So he wasn't referring to them. So what they upset about? To me, it seems like hit dog tolerant. You know what I mean? Because he never said anything. He never said Jewish. He never said anything like that.
Right.
So they're assuming that he's talking about them because he said a couple of words like Rothschild and Banks.
Right.
And they're trying to say those words. That's anti-Semitic.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what 21 Savage a couple years ago or last year or whatever. When 21 Savage said, "We've been getting Jewish money. Everything is kosher." That's all he said.
Right.
They say that's anti-Semitic. That's not a diss. That's not saying something hateful toward the community. You said we've been getting Jewish money. Everything is culture. They made him apologize. They made LeBron James apologize for tweeting it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not about that he said anything really wrong or that he said anything hateful or anything like that. That's why people are upset that he apologized, because they're like, nigga, you ain't say nothing wrong. What you apologizing for?
Exactly.
So I get that. But like I said, man, you got to be strategic out here, man.
Yeah,
you got to be strategic.
It's a lot to unpack with that, because there's so many layers of issues or topics that can spawn from that whole thing that we can't cover all of it. But
it's
deep, yo. It's deep.
I'm not sure where I am with it, with regard to the apology, because again, I need to go and research and get knowledge and understanding for myself with regard to I don't even know what it's called. The original man? Is that what the argument is? Is that what the fight is about?
What it is the history of blacks and Jews. That's what you need to go learn about. The history of blacks and Jews. What is the relationship? How has the relationship been with us historically? Because they try to make it seem like they're supposed to be some type of strong ally of ours. You know, they claim to do so much for black people during civil rights and all that stuff because, you know, the founders of NAACP and all that were, you know, as a Jewish man, Spingard. They still give out Spingard Award and all that to this day, you know. But there's a lot of history to be looked at there. You know what I mean? A lot of history to be looked at there. Like we talked about, I think, in the last show. You know, they financed a lot of the slave trade.
Okay, so what are the Jews mad about again? As far as this interview, is the fact that he called them savages?
They're mad that you said Banks, and they're mad that you said Rothschilds. That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you. They don't want you to say. They don't want you to associate them with having money, wealth, and power. They don't want you to associate them with that. That's anti-Semitic.
Yeah, but my problem is they haven't stated what was wrong.
Exactly. Exactly.
What was wrong about it? That's what I need to understand, and then I can take my.
But you know what? The fact that they have that sort of control is where the real issue lies.
It kind of proves the point.
Right. It proves a lot of the point. The fact that we can shut you down and we can control the narrative any which way we want to.
Okay. So you just proved what I said. I said that you had the power, and now you're showing us that you have the power. But you're mad at me for saying it.
Right.
Smash the elements.